After 7 mass shootings in the U.S. in 7 days, pressure is mounting for lawmakers to take action on gun control. We'll have the latest on what's being done in D.C. and here in Arizona.
Plus, now that anyone over the age of 16 can get vaccinated in Arizona, how will that impact the older, more at-risk age groups?
And on Break It Down, how education can hide cultural truths.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Karina Espinosa.
And I'm Jackson Zuber. Thank you for joining us. 10 people were killed in Boulder, Colorado yesterday in what is now the 7th mass shooting in the U.S. this week. Among the victims, a Boulder police officer who rushed to help at the scene.
Police say the suspect is a 21-year-old man from Arvada. He exchanged gunfire with police and got shot. He's currently in the hospital in stable condition. No motive has been released yet. As the country mourns, the gun control debate takes center stage yet again.
Tonight, we have full team coverage on the two very different battles state and federal lawmakers are fighting in the wake of this most recent mass shooting. Let's go first to Jake Holter in our Washington bureau with the latest on today's hearing on gun control. Jake?
The scene is all too familiar. Police tape stretched across the scene of a mass shooting as grieving survivors look on. And in Washington today, the arguments that came in the wake of that shooting were familiar too.
Inaction has made this horror completely predictable. Inaction by this Congress makes us complicit.
But while Senator Richard Blumenthal urges Congress to act on gun control, Texas Senator Ted Cruz said Congress needs to act on toughening criminal sanctions, not gun rights.
There are steps we can take to stop these crimes. And you know what the steps aren't? The steps aren't disarming law-abiding citizens.
The Judiciary Committee hearing came just hours after a lone gunman walked into a King Soopers grocery in Boulder, Colorado, and opened fire in a shooting spree that killed 10 people, including a responding police officer. Robin Thomas, the executive director of the Giffords Law Center, testified that gun violence in the U.S. continues to climb.
Gun deaths in the United States reached their highest level in almost 40 years, with 40,000 Americans dying from gun violence in 2019. Unfortunately, it's a problem unique to our country. Americans are 25 times more likely to be killed by a gun than people in other developed nations.
The hearing comes 2 weeks after the House passed a pair of bills aimed at strengthening background checks on gun buyers to make them required for individual sales and sales at gun shows. Thomas said the bills, which are awaiting Senate action, protect Second Amendment rights while acting to prevent more shootings like Boulder.
We can meaningfully address this by updating our gun laws to ensure both law-abiding Americans have a right to gun ownership, and we can prevent these horrific acts of gun violence that are occurring on a daily basis.
No hearing has been set yet on the two House bills, but Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Dick Durbin, a longtime supporter of gun control, said Congress needs to act.
We face a pandemic of coronavirus. We have another epidemic in America called guns.
While today's hearing dealt with federal law, much gun regulation takes place at the state level. And groups like Giffords and Everytown, which regularly study gun laws, give Arizona failing grades for what they call the state's lax regulations. In Washington, Jake Holter, Cronkite News.
The mass shooting in Colorado yesterday was the latest of 7 across the country in the last 7 days. With that being said, Cronkite News reporter Tyler Mannion took a look at the possible relaxation of gun laws here in Arizona.
During the current State House session, at least 18 bills have been introduced relating to firearms. The 3 bills we are tracking right now are HB 2111, 2551, and 2840. House Bill 2111 would ban the enforcement of laws that go against the Second Amendment as deemed by the state. It was introduced back on January 14th and passed through the House on clear party lines of 31 to 29. Later, though, that bill was retained, which means the committee decided to hold on to it for a later date. HB 2551 would allow people with concealed carry licenses to bring guns into most public buildings, which includes libraries, rec centers, and others. Or it gives those places the option to put security screenings at the entry. This bill was first read on January 28th and passed on the same straight party lines of 31 to 29. That vote will now move on to the Senate. Finally, HB 2840 would make it possible to have a loaded firearm in a car on school grounds. It has also passed and will await Senate vote after going 31 to 28. Gun rights are always a divisive issue, as shown by these straight party votes, and the opinions on these few are no different than you'd expect.
That this will lead to more gun violence, and at the end of the day, I mean, it's just a slap in the face of every victim of gun violence, both who have survived and those who have perished.
They simply confirm the right of people to possess firearms, a Second Amendment right, and they confirm the need to not disarm honest, law-abiding people, especially when you're not ensuring that criminals with guns are also being disarmed.
Representative Kavanaugh believes the bills have a good chance of being passed through the Senate, saying specifically that HB 2551 was short just one vote a few years ago. At the Google touchscreen, Tyler Mannion, Cronkite News.
And now, the other big story we're tracking today. Arizona is opening coronavirus vaccine appointments to everyone age 16 and older. Appointments will be available at state-run mass vaccination sites in Phoenix, Tucson, and Yuma starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Governor Doug Ducey says the decision was based on an anticipated increase in vaccine supply. There's also been vaccine hesitancy in our state. We spoke to Executive Director of the Arizona Health Association about that.
Things have changed a lot in the last week. The main thing that has changed is that State Health Department now opens up appointments and they sit on the website day after day. They were gone in less than an hour. 6 weeks ago, they'd announce they'd put up some appointments and they'd be gone within an hour. There for days.
Arizona is among the first states to allow anyone to sign up for vaccine appointments. President Joe Biden has said he wants states to take that step by May 1st and seek to vaccinate everyone who wants a shot by the end of May.
And while you may have to wait a while to get the vaccine here in the Valley, to the south, the University of Arizona is struggling to fill up appointments.
One of the challenges we're seeing now is that every day we have unfilled appointments for vaccines. I met with our doctors this morning who are doing a fantastic job on the pod, and they reached out to us to say, is there anything that you can do to help us? We need to get more people in here on a daily basis. We may have a couple of hundred open, and we have the vaccinators. We're ready to do it.
To book an appointment at the University of Arizona, just go to covid19.arizona.edu/vaccine.
With vaccine eligibility expanding in Arizona, it raises a lot of questions for the general public, including what happened to the phased distribution? Cronkite News reporter Caitlin Keenahan looks at previous distribution efforts in Phase 1C.
Grocery store workers were not able to get vaccinated until mid-March, despite being frontline workers during the pandemic. Employees are rejoicing that their time has finally come.
So today we're distributing 300 vaccines, single-dose Johnson & Johnson, to our retail members at all of our stores within Maricopa County.
Hi, how are you?
Bash's employees drive up.
And you don't have any allergic reactions, right?
Fill out a few forms, and they're on their way.
Super, and guess what? Go get your vaccine.
Thank you, guys.
A moment many of them have been waiting for since the genesis of COVID-19.
It's a sigh of relief for a lot of folks. We have members coming that are just so thankful and so excited to sort of be taking this next step and hopeful that, there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes. Tonda Sykes works at Food City in Phoenix. She says she's waited months for the opportunity to get the shot.
I feel great about it. I've been waiting to get there, especially the Johnson & Johnson one. It's one shot. I don't have to go back. I don't have to schedule time off to get the shot. So I feel really good about it. I feel positive about it. That was easy. Just a regular shot like I was getting for any kind of vaccine or something. There it is.
During the Bash's drive-through vaccination event, Dr. Kara Christ announced that everyone in the state of Arizona above the age of 16 is now eligible for the vaccine. This comes just 1 week after grocery workers were cleared to receive their doses. In the studio, Caitlin Keenahan, Cronkite News.
It's going to be a chilly day here in Arizona this week, with temperatures dropping into the 60s here in the valley today. And more wintry weather is expected to sweep across the state in the coming days. Melissa Zaremba is joining us now with what we can expect.
It's a gloomy day here in Arizona because we are experiencing clouds and cooler temperatures. And looking at our future forecasts with just the region, we're going to continue to see those clouds brushing through the state. Now let's focus on just Arizona. You're going to see purple, blue, and green. That is a sign of rain and snow chances coming our way. And then taking a look at our low temperatures across the state, the lower parts of Arizona is going to be in the 40s and 50s. Look at Phoenix, 51 degrees. And if you're going up north, Window Rock is 20 degrees. And then taking a look at the rest of the evening, we're going to see those clouds stick around and at 61 degrees by 6 p.m. And then taking a look at the rest of the evening, we're going to drop to 57 degrees. So you might want to have that light jacket on handy because it's going to get a little chilly. And then taking a look over the next few days, we're going to hold on to the low mid 70s. And by Thursday, it's going to be breezy and windy. So having a hair tie on handy is a must. And then looking at Friday, 69, and even Saturday, a 20% chance of rain. But don't worry, we're going to see that sunshine again, and we're going to warm right back up because look at Monday through Wednesday, 87 degrees. I don't know about you, but I can't wait until we warm up and see that sunshine again. In the Weather Center, I'm Melissa Zaremba.
I'm Serena RABOIN. After the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report, including how one ASU football defensive back chose to stay in Tempe instead of declaring for the NFL draft. Don't go away.
Ready to watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere, on nearly any device? It's easy with the free PBS Video app. Simply download the PBS Video app on your mobile or streaming device. Now you can watch the latest PBS episodes or catch up on the shows you missed. And when you support your local station, you can get PBS Passport, giving you access to more episodes, more specials, more of what you love.
Every day I wake up, my first thought is, how can I serve this community?
The biggest hurdle was not taking PTSD personally.
Would you welcome, please, the amazing.
Everybody that watches this, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
Take a journey with Arizona PBS. Join us every Sunday afternoon for Destination Drama. Watch all your favorite PBS dramas like Grantchester.
I'm William Davenport, new vicar of Grantchester.
Poldark.
Nothing in my life has meaning without you.
And Victoria.
I know that I'm young, but I know my duty.
And if you missed a recent primetime drama, we'll help you catch up on those too. Destination Drama. Every Sunday afternoon at 1. Only on Arizona PBS.
The great thing is to last and get your work done. And see and hear and learn and understand. And write when there is something that you know, and not before, and not too damned much after.
Coming in April to Arizona PBS.
Welcome back. I'm Serena RABOIN with your Cronkite Sports Report. College prospects hoping to hear their name called during the NFL draft are getting ready. Arizona State is holding its pro day with NFL scouts in attendance on Monday, March 29th, inside the Dickey Dome. Former Sun Devil wide receiver Frank Darby will be the team's sole participant at the event. While COVID-19 gave him the opportunity to come back to school for a sixth season, the New Jersey native opted to turn pro. Darby was injured in ASU's first game of the shortened 2020 season against USC and played in just 2 of the team's 4 games. He was still one of the 323 players to receive an NFL Combine invite. While Darby decided to head to the draft, senior defensive back Chase Lucas chose to head back to Tempe. Reporter Jordan Spurgeon takes a look at the reasoning behind his decision.
Yeah, Chase Lucas
everything for this program. And I mean everything.
Chase Lucas doesn't quit. The fifth-year senior came back with a chip on his shoulder after not being named a captain in 2020.
You know, I ended up not getting the C on my chest, and you know what I mean? I put so much hard work and dedication into something that I didn't get. And I remember walking out of the meeting crying.
This year is different. After he decided not to declare for the draft, Coach Herm Edwards opted to name Lucas a captain.
I just felt like I was out to prove something. Like I said, man, I think it was the best decision that I've made, and I'm just really, really blessed to be a captain on this football team.
The Tempe native and Chandler High product wants to be a legend in Sun Devil football lore. Coach Edwards says he saw that potential in him from day one when he took over the program.
He's been a part of this program even before I got here. I can remember when I first met Chase and we had a nice conversation and told him that, you know, eventually you're going to be one of the leaders of this football team, and rightly so. He's a team captain.
The goal for this season is to not only prep for the 2022 NFL Draft, but to make his teammates better and in turn cement his legacy in ASU history.
So if I'm going to be the legendary guy that I keep saying I'm going to be, I got to change some things. So I'm going to change some things around here.
The lockdown corner will be the first 5-year starter in Sun Devil football history. For Cronkite News, I'm Jordan Spurgeon.
One last story we're tracking today, the Phoenix Mercury revealed their own take on the WNBA's 25th year anniversary logo. The special anniversary identity depicts the familiar Mercury logo in the center of a large 25. The Mercury are one of 8 original franchises for the WNBA and one of only 3 that remain in their original market. There's even speculation that longtime Mercury star Diana Taurasi is the WNBA logos woman. That does it for today's Cronkite Sports Report. Back to you, Karina and Jackson.
And that's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.